I saw a graphic today that Mississippi State has sold the most season tickets so far, and there's still a few weeks to go, since 2015. So I found that fascinating, that they have sold more tickets going into this season than any of Mike Leach's. And now of course, the COVID deal screwed up 2020, and so that initial excitement of, hey, the Pirates here got ruined. So maybe that's part of it. But I found that fascinating, that they've already sold more tickets than they ever have under the late Mike Leach.
All right, so let me ask a question, and I'd love to hear from you on the C Spire text line at 601-879-4395. Why is the excitement level where it is for Mississippi State that has caused this year to be the most anticipated season since 2015? Is this the most most anticipation since 2015? If you're a Bulldog fan and you have bought tickets, or you haven't bought tickets, or you're intrigued by the fact that a lot of people have bought tickets, why this year? Is it new coach, Zach Arnett? Is it probably the final year of Will Rogers and super accomplished? Is it a belief that this is going to be a special team? Is it because of the defense? Is it because of a different offense? Is it because of who's returning?
You do get 8 home games. There's pretty good value in the season ticket this year as opposed to years past, I guess.
Yeah, Michael says they changed the price point.
Good.
I'll trust you on that. I haven't dug that up. So, hit us up. I'd love to hear from you. Why is it that this year has been the biggest season in terms of season tickets sold since 2015? You know why in 2015, right? Coming off the 2014 season, all the success, Dak returning, senior season for him. So let's talk about that. Sports Talk Mississippi.
So I gotta correct something.
Okay.
Shout out to a eagle-eyed Twitter user. It's the most new. They did some good editing on the graphic where certain words are bigger, much bigger than others, and it's the most new season tickets sold since 2015, which still leads to this conversation, but it's not the most in total. It is the most new season tickets that they have sold since 2015. Yeah, the word new carries a lot of weight, and it's really small in that graphic, and that's on me. But it's still worth wondering why this season did so many new people jump on.
All right, so that means you've got people that have not previously, or at least in the most recent year, bought season tickets that have jumped on board this season. Okay. So there's some excitement regardless. And I think the question we threw out before the break is still reasonable. It feels like there's excitement among Mississippi State fans. I had spent some time with a buddy of mine yesterday that is a Mississippi State fan. He's like, "What do you think about State?" I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm interested to see. I think they're going to be pretty good defensively. I think Will Rogers is very capable. I think the schedule, 8 home games is a real thing. So we asked you, and here are some of your reasons for being excited. Price point is good, and there's an extra home game. Okay? A lot of people did not like the air raid. That was hard for a lot of people, Borky, because it was such a departure from what Mississippi State has traditionally been good at. Run the ball, play defense.
Yeah, it's a dramatic, and that's you nailed it right there with, it's a departure from what they were doing well. And that was hard for people to stomach because they were recruiting defensive linemen, and they still, Zach Arnett's done a really good job there, but it was quality defensive linemen, and they're going to be physical and run right at you. Always run, never pass was like a fan moniker for years. And then it went to only pass and we'll run if we have to. Just, and I'm not sure everybody completely was on board at any point. Even after, they won games last season and beat Ole Miss, even still it was like offensively in the Egg Bowl, they still weren't. It still just wasn't, it didn't feel crisp. Too often it was.
Yeah, I agree. Will Rogers did not play a good game against Ole Miss, and yet Mississippi State did still win the football game when it was all said and done. All right, some of the other reasons that you think folks are excited. Tony in Columbia says people are probably trading out their baseball season tickets. Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that.
There's tens of thousands more football season tickets than baseball.
Yeah. For the record, Paw quit getting tickets in 2000. Unfortunately, a lot of things with the tickets were changing at the time. Okay. Dan in Hattiesburg, could it be the return to the run or using tight ends or a pass longer than 8 yards? Well, so do people really buy tickets on a philosophy or on the I'm not saying this well. Is your decision to buy tickets or not buy tickets based on the kind of offense the team that you cheer for is running? Really?
So we've gotten a lot of different answers, right? And I'm with you. I don't know if it's like, well, I don't like our offensive scheme, so I'm not going to go to games this year. But if they run a different scheme, I'm going to go to games next year.
Hold that thought just for a second. Because I'm not sure I'm getting this out the way I want to. So when you're thinking, when you're going through the process of, okay, you look at your email that's asking me to buy tickets. It's like, all right, how many tickets do I need? I need to buy 4 of them. How much do they cost? I don't know. I'm just using a number, 400. All right, so that's $1,600 for tickets. Are we going to pull the trigger this year as a family? Is this something that we want to do? See, to me, the questions are, can I afford the tickets? How many of the games are we going to go to? Is this something my family really wants to do? We got friends that are going to be there. Have we got tailgate to go to? How many times is there going to be a conflict where we either would rather do something or could do something else? Back to, can we afford it? I feel like those are the questions you ask when you're trying to decide, are you buying tickets or not? As opposed to, it really feels like we're going to run the ball on first down some and we're going to involve the tight end. I think we should buy tickets this year. I just wonder how many people are doing that. Now, if your team ran a triple option and you hated it, I'd get it. Like, I don't want to watch that every week. And, Borky, we know people make decisions about going to games on a week-in, week-out basis, whether they have tickets or not, based on, man, the offense we're running with the players that we're running. And I'm not even talking about Mississippi State. This is just like in general. We look like crap. I'm not going to watch that. Okay, I get that. But how many people are buying tickets based on philosophy?
I don't know. Part of me has wondered through all these different responses as if Zach Arnett sells what State fans more often buy.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Each fan base, particular people appeal to fan bases more than other people. I mean,
he's grit, toughness, lunch pail, hits you in the mouth.
He's football guy. And, I mean, he used all of those words at media days, and State fans, all the response from every State fan I've seen is Arnett killed it. Just killed it. And all he did was talk about that. Toughness, grit. When you play Mississippi State, you're going to get hurt. So just deal with it because we're coming at you. That kind of stuff. That mentality, this fan base likes that. And that's not good or bad or anything. It's just look at Auburn fans. What Hugh Freeze sells is what those people want to buy. Brian Harsin wasn't a salesman. He wasn't.
Want to talk about a fit. I mean,
perfect.
The early returns of Hugh Freeze in Auburn. I mean, it's like a custom-made shoe.
Yeah. Dabo Swinney's perfect for the people at Clemson. What he says resonates with them. There's fits, and Zach Arnett, his style in the way he presents himself, the way he sells his program, and then how they're going to play, because you can expect they're going to play that way, is what State fans want to buy.
Ole Miss fans and Lane Kiffin. It's a pretty good fit. I don't know that Lane Kiffin's a great fit everywhere.
No.
A pretty good fit at Ole Miss, or at least has been so far.